Ready? What's up, man?
What up, dude?
How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
So we'll start out with you just introducing yourself.
What's up? My name's Antho 805. Um, Anthony Rodriguez.
Okay. How long you been blowing glass?
I've been blowing glass for about 17, 18 years, something like that.
Okay. And tell me why you chose the name Antho 805.
Well, the name Antho was given to me from my friends in junior high school, maybe, because no one wanted to call me Anthony, so they just called me Antho. And 805, that's where I'm from, Ventura County. 805's area code, and back then it was like a hip hop thing to put like your area code where you're from. So Antho 805.
Okay. What's the first thing you made in glass?
The first thing I made in glass was a marble, probably like a silver fumed, just dot marble. I think smash a piece of clear down, fume it, dot it, lump it over itself. That was like I had to make that, or else I couldn't like learn anything further. That was like you gotta learn how to make this, dude, and then learn how to make other stuff. I was like, all right.
You think you still have your first one?
No, I definitely
No.
don't know. The first one that I was able to make that looked decent definitely went on finished product and got sold.
Okay. So let's go into how you got started in glass.
How did I get started in glass? Well, I got into glass from smoking weed, and I had a friend, which is Sean Daddy. I knew he was a glass blower, but like I never was like into the glass. I just like was a smoker and had pieces, but not like name brand stuff, just like China. I'm sure it was just China stuff. And one day he was like, "Yo, we need some help in the shop, dude." And I was like, what kind of help do you need? I'm down, I guess I'll come check it out." And then I went down there and they were like, "Yo, we're going to teach you how to make a marble." It was him and another dude named Kevin. And it was Kevin's shop. Sean was working there and they were like, "Real, we're going to teach you how to make a marble. And yeah, if you like it, you can fucking work here or whatever." So I was like, "All right, cool." So they taught me how to make a marble and I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. So you kind of talked on like people that helped you, but who were some of the big influences when you started? That doesn't just have to be glass. That could be music. That could be art.
Well, I was super into hip hop. So probably hip hop definitely was like a big part of my life and it influenced where I was going, who I was hanging out with. Uh, so I know that had something to do with it. And like I incorporated the glass into it, and nobody that I hung out with even knew anything about glass or any of that shit. It was all foreign. Uh, Everyone smoked weed, but it was mostly the glass was like a secondary type of thing until we started like learning about it. Then I didn't start learning about glass until I started like kind of making it. So then once I started coming around the glass shop, I realized like, oh shit, this is like a whole fucking scene. This is a whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know. It just turned into fucking its own thing. So it was it was the people I was around, I guess, were the most influential. Everyone I was around just was like tripping on it. So I thought it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. So I just kept doing it.
And it was kind of like you would make something, and all your buddies would be like, "Holy shit!" And that kind of got you
Yeah,
making
yep,
more
yep.
stuff.
Well, early on, it was okay. So, like, when I first started, I didn't know it, but I was taught how to blow glass to fucking make somebody money. You know what I'm saying? So, once I was able to make something that was profitable, I was put on the team, and then I just learned all kinds of shit. I didn't have to like pay or do anything because I was an asset to the company. So I was, being taught a bunch of shit without like, back then everybody was hiding everything. Nobody was showing anybody anything. But when I was around, everybody was like down to show me shit, and I was like, okay, cool. And all that shit was a big inspiration too. I was like, okay, well, something's working here because people are showing me stuff that I
Yeah.
shouldn't be knowing. So and then yeah, it all just happened so fast, and I was so young, and I was at all the right places at all the right times.
How old were you?
I was probably like 24 when I started blowing glass, 23, 24, something like that.
Okay. And so this kind of goes into it, and I was going to ask what the companies were, but where was the first place you sold glass?
Okay, so once I learned how to blow glass, I was working for a dude named Kevin. He was selling everything to a spot called Orange County Distribution or Orange County Glass or something. I don't know. It was like some ex hockey player dude who was flipping glass, and he was buying all the shit that he could make. It was all production stuff, wrap and rake, bubblers, spoons, just all the basic shit. So yeah, that would probably be it. And just yeah, distributors, glass distributors. But
Okay.
like my own, like when after I learned how to flip my own shit, dope ass distribution would probably be the first like company I worked with that steady bought my shit.
So it was pretty much all distribution at the start.
Yep.
And how many
Yep.
years
Well,
do you
okay.
think?
So no, okay. Because there was a break. There was a 2 year break. I learned how to blow glass. I blew glass for a couple years, making production shit with that dude Kevin, and then his shop closed, and then I was like, fuck blowing glass, because you know I got the rug pulled out from under me, and just like had a good thing going, and then all of a sudden, boom, nothing. All shops closed no more. No one's buying shit. I was like, all right, so boom, working a regular job for a couple years. Um, and then Sean, he's always been blowing glass. So Sean still was blowing glass. He was my homie still. So we were hanging out, and he was working out of his house for a couple years, and I was just working regular shit, regular jobs. And then he said he got a job at Roar, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I didn't know what to think about it at the time. And he was like, "Yo, you should come to work here." And I was like, "Nah, I'm not really trying to blow glass anymore because of the way it all ended." I was like, "Nah, fuck blowing glass." And then he was like, "Nah, you should come work here, yo. My brother got me a job here, and shit's cracking." I was like, "Nah, I'm good, I'm good." And then put it off for like months, and then finally one day he calls me. He's like, "Yo, I got you an interview. Come fucking, you got to go, or you're gonna make me look bad." I was like, "Fuck." All right, so I go down there. It was on a weekend, a Saturday. I remember it was a Saturday. I go down to the address they give me. It's a big ass warehouse. It was like the first big glass blowing facility I've ever seen. And there was a bunch of dudes making something on a lathe. It was like probably the first time I seen. No, it wasn't the first time I seen a lathe, but it was the first time I seen like a room full of lathes. And they were all working on something. And I thought the dude who was working the piece was the guy I was there to go interview with. And I was like, "Yo, Richard," and he was like, "Nah, Richard's in the office." And I turned, and the dude that was gonna interview me was like standing in the doorway watching me. I'm like, "Oh shit, this fucker's watching." He watched me walk all the way in, trip on everything, and then he's like, "Yo, come in, whatever." I go and sit down, and he was just like, "You come with good recommendations. You want to start Monday? You got to quit your job right now." And I was like, "Fuck, start Monday?" And I was like, "Yo, can I get the same pay that I'm getting at my current job right now?" And he was like, "No, we're not going to give you that pay." I was like, "Fuck." And at this point, I was like seeing the dudes working on the piece. They had just told me they're working on the piece for fucking High Times Cannabis Cup and all this shit. I was like, "Oh, I want to work here. Fuck yeah." So I was like, low key, I'm like, "Damn, I want that pay. I don't want to take the pay cut, but all right, cool. Yeah, I'll come in on Monday." I didn't tell my other job that I was like quitting or nothing. I just came in the next Monday, came in for a couple days, and then my other job was like, "Yo, you fucking haven't been coming to work. What's up?" And I was like, "I quit. I'm not coming in. I'm good. I got something else going." And they were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then ever since that day, man, I just haven't stopped fucking blowing glass ever since then.
Wow. Are there certain objects that you made at the start that you still make?
Um, yeah, all my marbles that I put on everything, I guess, like the first thing I made, they still go on everything. All my rigs, all my bowls, anything I make. Other than that, not really. Spoons, but I don't make spoons. But if I do, they'll be just like the ones I was making when I first started.
Yeah, okay. So let's kind of try and paint a picture of what the scene looked like when you first started, from your perspective too.
Okay, so I started smoking weed at a really young age. So it was considered the counterculture. You know, that's was like wasn't the scene, it was just like the counterculture. You had your hippies. But here where I'm from, the 805, it's like real street oriented. So like plugs, you had to know someone. You weren't smoking weed unless you knew where to get it, first of all. Um, so that was like a whole thing. Like you got to know where to get the weed. Um, yeah, it was just real street, you know, because dispensary didn't come around until fuck, I was probably in my 20s, you know. So by that time, I'd been smoking for a long ass time. I don't know. Yeah, it was just like everything was off the street, hush hush. You had to know somebody. The glass scene, I didn't really know much about glass. Okay, so we did have smoke shops, and I would go in there and I would trip like, why does all this shit cost so goddamn? You know, a little fucking mini tube. What I know now is a mini tube. Yo, why is this shit like $800? Why is this shit $600? I just give me the $100 bomb, you know, the big one. That's all. You know. Later, now that I'm fucking, I look back on it, I'm like, I wonder who made that shit. Who fucking, you know? I knew there was the Sky Glass, big ass fucking 4 footers, 3 footers. Uh, some of Venice Beach. Okay, so Venice Beach would be when I would ditch high school. Me and my friends, we would go to Venice Beach, and they would sell you whatever. So we would go. My first bong was a drum baker. Second was like a roar, so that's why it was like a big deal for me to be working at roar because all the homies were like, shit, you know, shit. But yeah, Jerome Baker was everywhere, man. You know, that was the Gucci shit back
Hmm.
then. You had a JB.
Okay, okay. What do you feel like inspires your work the most right now?
Uh, my friends, all the people around me, all the shit I see, the scene, like you're saying now there's a scene, like everything, man. Like, you know, every day, everyone I'm around, we know so many fucking cool people, so
Yeah.
it just fuels the fire.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to do outside of glass?
um, I like to travel. I like good food. I like good drink. Um, I like live music. Um, being around my friends, my family. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, what do you hope the scene looks like in 10 years?
10 years from now, I hope people are crushing it still. You know that people aren't afraid and worried about the whether they're making money or not. You know, like right now it's a big deal. The economy's fucked. Nobody's fucking selling like they were. I hope that's not like a thing anymore. Um, and yeah, I just can't wait to see. I It changes every day. Like I see shit every single day. 10 years, I can't. I don't even know.
Okay.
Glass printers, fucking
Yeah,
printing shit. I don't fucking even know. It's crazy.
I think that's a good answer because there's a lot of things that I make now that weren't even really a thing when I started.
Dude, so like
You
10.
know.
Okay, where is it in 10 years? 10 years ago, just come so long. Like every year, something. You know. So it's like I don't know. Especially the way it's escalating now. It's gonna be crazy. I don't know. I'd like to see some advancement in maybe some of like the tools and shit. Like I don't know, like the tech. Yeah, that's always gonna advance. But we've been using the same torches, the same ovens. Like it'd be cool to see some changes in that shit. I don't know. There's somebody's working on it.
What do you think more glass blowers should be paying attention to?
Themselves. I don't know. Yeah, just focusing on bettering yourself, making yourself a better person, your art, your work, being consistent, um, like those welds, ball weights. You already know, baby. I don't know. Yeah, just I don't know. Focus on bettering, bettering yourself, and then if everybody focuses on that, it'll help the scene, and you know, domino effect. Everyone's always tripping on everyone. Everyone needs to do that and work towards something. So in 10 years from now, it could be beyond what I can think of.
All right, man. Last one. What do you hope to accomplish in glass?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say to accomplish. I'm not worried about making the fucking nicest piece or biggest piece. Or one of my biggest accomplishments is for the past almost 20 years, I've been supporting my family off of glass. So I could continue to do that for another 20 more years. I'll be stoked, I could, the big, it's not about making the nicest shit to me. It's about just being part of making something. I don't got to be the best as long as I'm fucking there. I continue to do that.
Great, man. Anything else you want to say?
Um, nah, I'm good. Word up, everybody. Have a good time and take a dab and catch you all later.
Cool, man. Thank you.